Chapter 1. My name is Marco. People call me Marco the Magnificent, Marvelous Marco, the Amazing Marco, and of course the girls just call me Gorgeous. Okay, maybe I've never actually heard anyone call me Gorgeous, but I'm confident someone, somewhere, must have called me Gorgeous at some point. Or not. But definitely cute. I've heard cute with my own ears, and soon I'll be hearing a lot more because I made a major change, you see. I've cut my hair, or at least my stylist Charsley cut it for me. That's right, Charsley, and according to Charsley, my cuteness quotient has risen from 9 to a definite 10. Where was I? Oh right, I was telling you my name is Marco. I can't tell you my last name though, I forgot it. No, not really, I'm kidding. I know my last name, but I'm just not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the complete names of my friends or where I live. But what I will tell you is the truth, except for the part about magnificent and marvelous. Everything else I tell you will be true. I know it'll seem incredible, but it'll be the absolute truth. I like how he admits he was just hyping himself up. Let's start with the reason why I won't tell you my last name. I have enemies. We all sorta do, but these guys are very powerful and very dangerous. Not like the guy in your class keeps calling you a dorkwad. And if they knew who I was, I'd be dead so fast I wouldn't even know it. The Yeerks don't play games. The Yeerks don't worry about pity or kindness. They don't care that I'm just a kid. The Yeerks plan to enslave or destroy the entire human race, and they won't hesitate to roll right over little old me. But they aren't just my enemies. They're the enemies of every human being, the enemies of Earth itself, and they're everywhere. They're a parasitic species. Think tapeworms. That's what they are when you get down to it. Intelligent tapeworms. They're slugs just a few inches long. They are a human body through the ear canal, and once inside they flatten out and wrap themselves around your brain. They squeeze all little folds and wrinkles in your brain and tie into your thoughts. They take over. They make you what we call a controller, a human machine, a body whose own true mind is shattered and helpless. And that is the special horror of the Yeerks. They don't just take over your mind and eliminate you. You continue to be aware. You continue to be conscious. You sit there in your own head watching the Yeerks open your memory, watching them fool your friends and family, and watching them turn people you love into some kind of slave you are. You try and move your hand, but you can't. You try and make your mouth speak, but you can't. You don't even control what your eyes look at. That's what it's like. My mother was one of them, a controller. For a long time we thought she was dead. I believe she had drowned, but I learned later she was still alive. A very powerful Yeerk had taken over her body. I don't even know how long she was controlled before she disappeared. I don't know how many times her goodnight kiss the action of a Yeerk trying to pass off as human. But she is Visitor 1 now. They're sort of like a Yeerk warlord general. She launched a secret invasion of Earth. Visitor 3 is now in charge. Visitor 1 in my mother's head took off her faking her death by drowning, so she's somewhere else now, maybe millions of miles away. No one knows my mom but me and my best friend Jake. I don't want the others to know. I don't want their pity. The Yeerks are here, everywhere. Not just my mother, but maybe yours too. Maybe your teacher, maybe your best friend, maybe everyone around you. When you get together with family and friends, you may be the only one in the room who's not a controller. So that's why we fight them. We Animorphs. I made up that word, by the way. Pretty cool, huh? Animorphs. Just popped in my head. Animal morpher. See, not every alien in the universe is a Yeerk. The universe has its own heroes too. There was one dying, doomed Andalite gave us our power to acquire DNA of any animal and become them. His name was Elfangor. He and a lot of our Andalites died trying to protect the Earth from Yeerks. So for him and all the people of Earth we fight, working to slow the Yeerks down so the Andalites have a chance to come again and save us all. Who's we? Well, there's me, Marco the Magnificent. Then there's Rachel, who thinks she's Xeno Warrior Princess, Tobias, the Bird Boy, Cassie, the Tree Hugger, and Axe, our resident Andalite. And of course, our fearless leader, my boy Jake. My way too serious best friend Jake, responsible, practically adult Jake. Jake who grinds my nerves with his total refusal to just have a good time. Look, I said to Jake, it's not a crime or anything. There's no law against dogs going to outdoor concerts. They don't have a ticket for dogs. You know, Marco, the point of morphing is not for us to get into concerts, Jake said. We walked down the streets of our subdivision. We shot some hoops down the outdoor basketball court. Now Jake was dribbling as we walked. 9-inch nails, Elenus, offspring, I said. He stomped to me. Marco? Yeah? What happened to your hair? Oh, you just noticed? Looks cool, huh? He just stared. Offspring, he said. You're sure Offspring will be there? I could see him weakening. He was dribbling slower. I hear they're so great live. They kick, they dominate, they crush all the opposition underfoot. They rule, Marco, after I criticize Rachel and Cassie using morphine for personal reasons, I just can't. Who's going to tell them, I argued. Or my friends who I knew shorter hair. It was cool looking. I wasn't even going to pay attention to the way Jake just stared at. It was cool. I'd be a hypocrite, Jake said. I thought for a moment. You know, Jake, I long suspected that Elaine is maybe a controller, and as a controller, think of the damage she could do by leading young and impressionable kids like us astray. Oh, I hate to even think about it. We have a duty, Jake, a sacred duty to go to that concert and find out whether any of the major stars are controllers. He smiled a slow smile. That's the most pathetic excuse you've ever come up with. I laughed. Get serious, come up with a lot worse ones than that. We're all at his house, so we stopped. Jake's brother Tom is one of them, a controller. We don't talk inside his house. You know, Jake said, the only possible way I can go along is I found out you were going to this thing anyway. Then see, I'd have to go along, just to watch your back. Jake may be responsible, but he isn't a total 40-year-old. I grinned. Jake, I'm going to this concert whether you like it or not. Well, I guess I better go then, just to cover your butts. You have to figure out how to cover your hair. I made a face. Real funny. I thought so, he said, grinning at his own whip. I'm going to more Homer, I guess. You're right, dog's the way to go. I don't even think about anything about us being there since there's always dogs and outdoor stuff. And dog hearing's pretty good. You need to get a dog morph though. I already did, an Irish settler. Girls love Irish settlers. I laughed my evil laugh and gave Jake a look, and he laughed too. There's moments in my life that seem totally innocent at first, you know, like a normal everyday life, but then it's like you stepped off a cliff and before you know it you're falling, and you realize your innocent little decisions gone spinning out of control. I decided to sneak into a concert. I had not decided to uncover one of the greatest secrets of human history from a person who decided to favor an entire race. I just wanted to hear some music. It should have been no big deal. It is funny how these things work out. Okay. Chapter 2. There are a couple of big problems with morphing. First of all, there's the 2-hour time limit. If you stay morphing more than that, you stay forever. Second is the fact that the animal's basic instincts come along with the body. Sometimes when you jump into animal brain, it's like grabbing onto a power line. Then there's the total creepiness factor, like Major Stephen King meets Anne Rice creepy. The concert is taking place in this big outdoor arena that was one in the city park. We need a private place to morph, but it turned out to be not so easy. There are people everywhere, thousands. Kids in black t-shirts, displaced deadheads, little granny glasses and dreadlocks, parental units carrying babies trying to look cool in their Dockers, and hardcore punk rockers that pierced everythings. Across the park there was a little street of coffee shops and restaurants and an ecology bookstore. There are alleyways behind those and we headed there. Down one alley I found a little dead-end area stuck with dumpsters. Wonderful, Jake muttered, 2 of us in the garbage. It's already fun. Come on, let's do it, I said. I was impatient. I can hear a warrant band racing for a power set. You haven't morphed a dog before, have you? Jake asked me. No, he smiled. Don't get too happy, he said. I didn't really pay attention. I looked around, saw a couple of hippie girls walking by. They couldn't see us. I took out my outer clothing, stripped down my morphing suit. I stuffed my clothes and shoes into a bag Jake and I brought along. I focused on a dog I acquired, and as I focused on the changes begin. I morph much weirder than dogs, but every morph is strange, every morph is unpredictable, and you never really know how it's going to go. I expected the first thing to be the fur, but it wasn't. The first thing that happened was a tail. I just felt it sort of spurt out the base of my spine. I looked back over my shoulder. Oh, gross. It was sticking out, but there was no fur yet, kind of like a grayish chicken-skinned whip. Yeah, they are less attractive without the fur. Is that why people don't like rats? I mean, they are kind of cute in the front, but the tail is... maybe the tail grosses people out? I don't know. I look back at Jake. His face is bulging out with something like trying to climb out of his mouth. His big tiny old muzzle is starting to grow, and there's a weird grinding sound inside my head as the bones in my jaw stretched outward. I felt itching in my mouth, so my teeth grew bigger and rearranged themselves. I saw my fingers shrink up inside my hands. At the same time, little stubs of fingers grew those gray-black nails. My palms became thick and calloused. I felt the bones of my legs and arms stretching, changing directions again as they grew slightly smaller. Suddenly, I just couldn't stand up anymore. I fell forward my calloused pads. Only then did the fur start to grow, and it's a good thing as I was one ugly animal without it. The reddish fur spread quickly like the world's fastest grass. It seemed to slap my skin long and silky. Cool, said Jake and thought, check out this fur. Every girl at the concert is going to want to pet me. He's the same back, but right then the dog's senses kicked in. I morphed a wolf, so I saw I was prepared. I knew the hearing would be amazing, the sense of smell would be incredible, but what I didn't expect was the dog's mind. It was not like the wolf at all. The wolf had a cool, intelligent, and ruthless killer, but the dog was a big goof. You ever hear that song, Girls Just Want to Have Fun? That could be the theme song for dogs. Dogs just want to have fun. And that's what fooled me. The Australia's brain didn't feel like some strange animal. I was tapping into a part of my own mind. It was a perfect hit with the goofball part of my brain. Looked over at Jake with a slightly dim dog vision. He became his dog Homer. I lolled out my tongue and panted. He panted back. I barked for no particular reason. I did a little dance like I was going to run away, and I stopped suddenly, crashed down my front legs, and grinned like an idiot. I was inviting him to play. And last I checked, yes, that is what dogs do when they want you to play with them. I turned down the alley to run. Marco, wait up. Catch me, like you even could. I scrabbled away at top speed, my nails clicking and conquer my floppy ears flying, my tail held high and wagging. I raced down the alleyway, totally ignoring the rich, wondrous smells of rotting garbage. I turned to the park and raced across the street. Jake fell back, kind of caught me a small amount of people. Screech! A car slammed brakes and missed me a couple of feet. A couple of feet? I mean, if the driver had been one of those milliseconds slower, I'd been roadkill. My dog-bring reaction to that near-death experience was cool. I smell something. I was serious, but I smelled some other dogs pee on a curb was about 10,000 times more interesting than the squealing car was. The driver got out and started yelling. I gave him a happy dog grin, tried away. Oh, hi, Tech. Good to see you. The driver got... Oh, yeah, I read that part. Marco, would you wait up? Suddenly surrounded by people. They're totally different from people I'd seen before when I was still human. For one thing, I wasn't really looking at the people. I was smelling them. What they looked like was not important, but the smells. I smelled sweat, shampoo, bad breath, what they've been eating. I smelled what they stepped in, smelled laundry detergent, smelled everything everyone had touched or shaken hands with. And I could smell all of their animals. The humans might as well have been wearing a big neon sign that says, I own a dog, or I have cats. I could not only smell who owned dogs, smell whether dogs were male or female, old or young, fixed or not. Just by sniffing people who walk past, I knew if their dogs ate canned or dry food. Dogs are amazing. I mean, you look up that dog and it's like you've been walking around cotton balls with your nostrils all your life and suddenly take it out and wow, it's a whole new experience. I've been a wolf, so now it's like a wolf in civilization. The information in my nose is so complex, so rich, so full, and so enjoyable. Hey boy, someone said, a girl. I was sure it was a girl. Was she a cute girl? I tried to make a dog eyes focus like sight was just irrelevant. I guess see, okay, my dog brain is way too busy smelling and hearing. I did notice a scent of patchouli oil, though. She shot her hand straight in my head, and a warm wave of pleasure just washed over me, and then she scratched my ear, and that was almost too good. It was sublime. It was the best thing I ever felt in my life. Head pats. I think I could just stood there and let her scratch on my ear forever, but then she was joined by a guy. A guy owned a cat instantly. She started scratching my ribs. I lay down and rolled on my side. The scratching felt like tickling. I was so happy. I was just beyond happy. See, dog happy isn't like human happy. Human happiness has this little voice in the back of your mind going, don't get too happy. Keep your guard up. Something bad can still happen. But dog happy is just pure, distilled essence of happiness. I just lolled on my wet tongue and sat my tail against the grass and it just started. My leg just started going all on its own. I feel like his description of human happiness mostly applies to himself, but it makes sense. Humans get happy, sure, but there's always, some rational thought there. Dog just happy. I love when dogs do that, the guy said. It's so funny. It's going to scratch away my ribs and my back leg just motored away out of control and I was just in heaven. That's when Jake found me. That's nice, Marco. Very dignified. What's next? You gotta lick yourself? Oh, it's another dog. The girl said he's even cuter. She leaned forward to pet Jake. And I brought her to my senses. No way was he a cuter dog than me. Okay, that's not playing around. Come on, Jake. Let's close her stage. We take off, tails wagging, leaving a nice little hippie couple behind. See, I told you, Marco, don't get too happy. A happy dog is almost too happy. Why not? I said a little wistfully. Why not just get happy? This thing stunning happened. There was no music for a few minutes, and all at once Offspring climbed on stage and unloaded. They ripped into a song and a coward a bit. The back of my ears was just shocking, but it wasn't just that it was so loud as I could hear everything. Everything. Hey, I can understand the lyrics now. Cool, Jake answered. We tried closer to a thickening crowd of humans. The smells were overwhelming, but not in a good way. And then suddenly I saw him. He was walking through the crowd and passing out handbills. A breeze caught one of the sheets and flew around the ground in front of me. I forced my eyes to look at it. I couldn't read the fine print. I could see the two big words at the top. The sharing. The sharing. The front organization for controllers. Jake, I said, that guy's handing out flyers for sharing. Yeah, you know what? The two look familiar. It's just my imagination. He had brown hair, just so a little over his ears, maybe 5 feet tall. I managed to look taller. A slightly shorter version of Jake, strong and confident looking. Yeah, he's familiar. His name's Eric King. He transferred out of our school like a year ago. He's coming closer, smiling, handing out flyers, and he wanted to take one. He knelt down and smiled at me. He reached up, had me, but I pulled back. He shrugged and walked on, handing out flyers. Jake, did you notice that? Oh yeah, he said, definitely. Oh man, I said, there's something very wrong with Eric. Chapter 3. He didn't smell, I said. What do you mean he didn't smell? Rachel demanded. I mean he didn't smell. He picked up some odors off of other people, off the ground and dogs or whatever, but he had no smell himself. Like a black hole of smell, like there's nothing there, nobody home. It was later that same evening. Jake and I had left the concert shortly after encountering Eric. We called a meeting and everyone except Axe in Cassie's barn. Cassie's barn is actually a wildlife rehabilitation center, sort of a hospital for messed up wild animals. Their parents are both veterinarians and their mom works at the gardens as a combination zoo and amusement park. Her dad would allow help from Cassie takes in every sick or injured animal they come across. Barn is lined with wire cages filled with raccoons, foxes, possums, eagles, rabbits, geese, badgers, crows, squirrels. I mean, you name it, it's Animal Central. Maybe you just didn't notice, Rachel suggested. Rachel, you've been in Wolfmorph, Jake said. You know how good your sense of smell is? Well, the dog's sense of smell is almost that good. She shook her head like she does when she's frustrated. She was standing in the middle of the barn door floor, looking immaculate as usual. Rachel's one of those girls from the cover of 17. Beautiful, fashionable, way too tall, far too many bright white teeth, massive quantities of very clean blonde hair. Beneath all that fashionable clothing, perfectly applied makeup is a sword-swinging warrior just trying to break out. She's like one of those terrible elf maidens from the Lord of the Rings, beautiful and dangerous. Jake is her cousin and Cassie is her best friend. Cassie actually experiences normal human emotions like fear and doubt. I approve this because I'm experienced plenty of fear and doubt myself. I experienced more fear and doubt since I became an Animorph than most people do in 10 lifetimes. Cassie never met a dress she liked. She didn't subscribe to Teen or YM. She's very much likely to buy a magazine from like Smelly Animals of America. You know, one that have articles like how to give suppositories to raccoons or let's examine owl vomit. You want to picture Cassie, think of a short, cute girl with very short black hair, wearing overalls and big muddy boots, looking to like will give a tetanus shot to an angry bear. She's our animal expert and a resident ecology nut. She says she likes animals better than she likes people, except that she really likes Jake. As in likes. Well, actually, she and Jake like each other, but neither of them will admit, of course. The only time they act that way is when they're about 12 seconds away from something crazy dangerous, and they'll kind of give each other these pathetic, sad looks. It's so lame. Last member of our group is perched on the high rafters overhead. Tobias has talons sunk deep in the wood to give himself a firm hold, and with a hooked beak he was freeing the photos of his right wing. Tobias is a red-tailed hawk, and that's the way he's been since he stayed too long in Morph. He lives as a hawk now, mostly. I mean, he hunts and eats like a hawk, not that he has much choice. I don't think the school really interested in a hawk boy as a student. Tobias lives in the woods along with Axe. He's an Andalite, brother of Elvingor, and only 3 Andalites within 1 billion miles of Earth. Axe doesn't come to meetings usually. He is a human morph, but he doesn't really like to overuse it. Plus, he basically figures Jake is his prince, he'll do whatever his prince tells him has to be done. So that's her group. Rachel's sitting in the middle of the room like someone was shining a spotlight on her. Jake pacing back and forth, looking far too intense. Cassie cradling a duck in her arms as she changes bandage. Tobias preening his feathers, looking around like an eternal hawk stare. Me lolling on the back of a bale of hay. Shh, Jake said suddenly. I thought I heard something. It's just a squirrel on the roof, Tobias assured him. Are you sure? He stopped preening and stared at Jake. His hawk stare got even more intense. Am I sure? I do know what a squirrel sounds like. He and I looked a little embarrassed. Hawks not only have amazingly good eyes, but hearing's better than human as well. And Jake knows the sound that prey makes. He has to. Asking if he recognizes squirrels like asking Einstein if he knows how to add 2 plus 2. I try to bring us back on topic. So, what does it mean if a kid doesn't smell like a human? There are plenty of times when you don't smell human, Rachel said with a smirk, but then maybe that's just because you have a small monkey living on top of your head. Cassie made a snoring noise. She tried not to laugh. Next time you try and decide a haircut, talk to me first, Rachel said. I ignored them both. We had important business. I was not going to lower myself to train insults at Rachel. Plus, I couldn't think of any. He doesn't smell, and he's hanging out flyers for the sharing. He must be connected to the Yerks, Rachel said with a shrug. But how, Cassie said. She's pushing a duck back in its cage. I mean, the Yerks infest various species, humans, arbiter, and taxons, but that change the fact that a human and a Yerkers have still smell like a human, you know? Chapman's a controller, and he still smells human. By the way, I can't believe I'm talking about how my vice principal smells. Jake shrugged. I can see and find out what's going on with him. How do we find him? I said. Infiltrate a meeting with sharing? I could do surveillance of the school, Tobias said. Or maybe just go back to where the concert was and look for clues, Rachel said, and then she winced. Wow, that sounded so Nancy Drew. Maybe Axe would try and tap the internet and get rid of the past security buffers and locate him. Cassie held up a hand like she was asking a question at school. Those are all fine plans, but how about we just look him up in the phone book? We all stared at her. Or we could just look him up in the phone book, Jake said sheepishly. Cassie headed for the house to get a phone book. You know, she's not getting the whole superhero thing. I said, Jake, does Wolverine look things up in a phone book? Does Spider-Man? I don't think so. Well, Wolverine has a big advantage over us, Rachel said dryly. He's not real. And then she snapped her fingers. That's that hair of yours reminds me of. A Wolverine. I knew it was something. Oh yeah, shot back. Well, how about your... My what? Rachel said coolly with the absolute confidence of a girl who never looked less than perfect. Your tallness, I said lamely. You're tall, like way tall. Somehow his comeback didn't make her break down in tears. Cassie came out carrying the white pages already open to the case. There's 27 kings, I said, but you said he transferred the troops, there may be 6 there in that part of town. We'll work right on the list, although they still could be on an unlisted phone. I can't hang out tonight, Jake said. I gotta write that English paper. Here's a clue in an English paper. I don't say I have got to, I teased. I can go tomorrow, maybe, Rachel said, but not tonight. My dad's in town just for a night. He's taking me and my sister to Planet Hollywood. Cassie looked at me. I'm free. I'm good till it gets dark, Tobias volunteered. Hawks are much used at night. Fine, me, Cassie, and Vice until it gets dark. Shouldn't be hard. Our mission to find a boy who doesn't smell. Maybe he just showers a lot, Rachel said. Did you think of that? Chapter 4. I saw Jake the following day at the cafeteria. I was wolfing down to Goo of the Day. Goo of the Day. Drinking milk, trying to write my English paper at warp speed. See, I kind of had the homework due too, but I spent yesterday evening cruising around Animorphs looking for Eric's house. English paper, Jake asked. He sat down. Yeah. He laughed. You're good for me, Marco. Compared to you, I'm so responsible. You have a topic? I looked at him and thumped my finger down the paper. I've written 3 pages. What do you mean, do I have a topic? But Jake knows me, so do you have a topic? A topic will emerge. I'm just gonna write till I discover a topic. It'll rise from the pages. It'll reveal itself to me. I just have to keep writing. He nodded and made a face of the Goo of the Day in his tray. This food is blue. Food should not be blue. Hey, here's a topic for you that used to toll a bull in the writing of English papers. I grinned. Well, I'm the master. Bull. 3 pages so far and haven't said a single thing. That is a talent, though. I'll give him that. That is a talent. I have trouble doing that myself. But yeah, rambling I can totally do. Like just saying bullshit, though, that's different. Because I know I'm doing it and I always feel bad about it. But anyway. Did you guys happen to find her friend? I shot a glance left and right. No one's seen near it over here. Besides, the cafeteria is so noisy from the yelling and laughing and dishes and scraping chairs, don't get for much of anything. And I found out where he lives, saw him through a window. Too bad though, one of your King residents checked out this girl lived near was amazing. You weren't window peeking, I hope. I gave my best shock and outraged look. How could you even say that? What kind of person do you think I am? He nodded. Cassie wouldn't let you, huh? I am trying to write a paper here on a topic of how to write 1,000 words and say nothing. 0. Nada. Squat. He lowered his voice just a whisper. We need to check Eric out. Definitely something wrong there. What about a pencil? You mean get in his house? He shrugged. Not yet. Get Tobias to watch me outside, but Tobias needs some help. I shrugged him right to the paper. I'll have plenty of time. Dropping out of school this afternoon right after the teacher gets done laughing at my paper. Topic, the use of rhetoric to obscure a lack of content. I froze and looked up. That's brilliant. It means it's the same as the use of toll bull, but it sounds better. Eat your goo. I gotta go. He looked at saw him head over the spot where Cassie was sitting. See, there you go. If you make it sound better, they'll eat it right up. The use of rhetoric to obscure a lack of content. Here's one of our rules. We never start looking at a group. In school and public places, we keep our distance. We reveal the relationships already existed before we became Animorphs. I happened to see Chapman come through the door of the cafeteria. He grabbed some kid who was running and told him to slow down. And then he gazed around the room looking for troublemakers like a normal vice principal. But he isn't normal. Chapman's a controller. The yerk in his head's high ring enough to speak directly to Visitor 3. For a second he locked eyes in mine. It was nothing, but it sent a shiver up my spine. Chapman runs the sharing. The flyers that Eric has been hanging out in the concert have been about the sharing. Eric's never been some major friend of mine. He's just a kid I say hi to in a hallway. So if he had been there for my mother's funeral, a funeral without a body. Some of the other kids in school had come, but I didn't think anything about it. Still, it was a nice thing for him to do, and now he's working for the sharing. The sharing is a form of relation for controllers. On the surface, it's like a club. Kids join and go on campouts and field trips and stuff. Adults join and supposed to do business deals, guaranteed for weekends at ski resorts. And probably most members of the sharing never even know what's going on, but the controllers who run the sharing are always on the lookout for some person with problems. So they don't just spread by forcing themselves on people. A lot of people become controllers by choice, and I guess they want to feel like they're part of something bigger. Or maybe it's the secrecy that it looks cool. I don't know. All I do know is that Yerks would rather a voluntary host. They'd rather you surrender your mind than take it by force. They work you up slowly for the levels till you decide you're ready. They make promises and tell you lies, and next thing you know you're a slave in your own mind, all the more easily controlled because you let it happen. I shoved the tray away from me and played with a pencil again. I stared at the paper, but I was seeing a funeral service. Singing, flowers, some priest told me how great my mother had been. He didn't even know her. I remember turning around in my pew to look at around the church. A lot of people would come, a lot of sad faces, lots of tears. Most people just look solemn because of the way you have to look at a funeral. Eric had been 3 rows back. He's wearing a suit that's probably scratchy uncomfortably and looked solemn. He looked angry. He was shaking his head slowly, barely from side to side, as he was unconsciously disagreeing with everything the priest said. At the time I figured just mad because he had to dress up, and I got that. But now he'd reappeared. The boy who didn't smell human. The boy who worked for the sharing. Well, Eric, I'm under my breath. What to see about you? We'll definitely have to see.